than a show. It's the Great British Shooting Show, the biggest celebration of shooting in the UK, bar none. From air guns to optics, country style to sport, it's where every shooter belongs. 3 incredible days, from the 13th to the 15th of February 2026 at the NEC Birmingham. No distractions, just the very best of British shooting and beyond, all under one roof. Book now at shootingshow.co.uk.
Hi, Gary Chillingworth here for Airgun World Magazine, Shooting and Country TV. Welcome to Back to Basics with Day State. And today we have a Day State on the channel. This is the Black Wolf Carbon. Now you're going to be seeing a lot more of this rifle on the channel, but today's video is all about shooting standers, or to be more precise, unsupported standers. Now, we are going to be doing a full breakdown of this rifle very, very soon. In fact, we're having a bit of a December with Day State. We're doing a lot of content with this rifle this month. But what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about our unsupported standers, and let's get on with the show. Okay, so unsupported standers. The most difficult shot you have in HFT, FT, pretty much any type of shooting you're doing. When you're prone, you're laying down, everything is nice and stable. But when you're standing here and you're not doing it, and you haven't got any support, and I sometimes sit there and watch the people who shoot 10 meter at the Olympics, and they're getting these groups like that with no support apart from a jacket, a big heavy leather jacket. And I think to myself, well, how do they do it? And can I use the skills that 10 meter Olympic shooters use to make me a better unsupported standing shooter? And to do that, we need to break it down into 4 sections. Our feet, our arms, our breathing, and the 4th one, which I've currently forgot. Alignment. That's the one. Alignment. Feet. So let's start with alignment. Sorry. So I'm looking directly at you, and directly behind you is the target I'm aiming at. So what I want is this, a shooting stick. I'm going to put this down on the ground, and now there is a line drawing through this stick, through the camera, straight at the target. And now what I want to do is I want to stand in a perfectly horizontal line with the target. That's my leg position. But this is really not where I want to end up, because at the moment I'm in a straight line, so I can wobble back and forward and I've got no support. So now we're going to talk about foot position. Okay. You can't see my face, which I've been told is a good thing. So I'm going to take a step back from the line, but I'm still perfectly in line with the target. The first thing I want to do is rotate my foot about 45 degrees, and that will give me a certain amount of stability back and forward. This back foot, I want to slide slightly forward, so I'm making basically through my heels a bit of an L shape. And what that's going to do is it is going to give me a certain amount of strength going back and forward. So if I get hit by a gust of wind, we're not going to move. Okay, now some of you will recognize this stance, especially if you're martial artists, because this is what we will call a basic fighting stance. It's a very, very stable, very strong position. Now we need to grab our rifle. Now, if I was in a fighting position, I would want to bend my knees, but I'm now using muscles to hold me in that position. My natural state is I want to lock out. This is how I stand. That might give me a little bit more stability, certainly if I need to move about. But then after a minute or so, your muscles are going to start to twitch because they're burning lactic acid. And then you're going to end up, not being accurate on the target. So I would personally, or I like to, lock my legs out, and then that way I could get into a neutral position and we're good to go. Okay, so I'm in my neutral position. I'm standing here. I bring the rifle up. I have a look. And I'm pointing to the right-hand side of the target. The issue is, I'm now very tempted to pull my rifle to the left, and now I'm absolutely solid and locked on, and I'm a happy man. But my body wants to return to its neutral position. So instead of rotating the body, and again, using muscles and that to actually move the body around, what I need to do is just move my right foot slightly forward, and now I'm bang on the target. Move your feet, not your body. You always want to stay in this neutral position, because that way you're using the skeletal structure of your body and not muscles. The thing we don't want to do is use any type of muscle when we are shooting, or not more than we use to stand up. But we want to use the skeletal structure to align ourselves with the target. Now we're going to move on to body position. Okay, so body position is I don't have the best body to show you how to do this, but we'll give it a go and you can all watch the video and have a laugh. So what we want to do, so we're just going to put this down for a sec. So ideally, what we're looking to do is, again, not use any muscles. We're looking to use the bones to transmit the weight of the rifle through the body into the ground. So when you're in your position, the first thing you need to do is tilt your body. Point your hip at the target. You then take your arm and stick it into your ribs. Now, if you don't have the girth that I do, that's easier. That's why you don't see any sumo wrestlers shooting 10 meter. But you get into that position. And so what you want to do is, so you're tilting back and you're holding there. We'll grab the rifle. So we've tilted back and we're on target. So what's happening is the weight of the rifle is transferring through my arm into my body and down through my right leg. I'm adjusting myself to getting myself into a position. And what I'm not doing is I'm not using the muscles in my arms to hold the rifle up. You'll feel it when you practice, that when you get into that position, and I'll put a picture up of a 10 meter shooter doing this, and you'll be able to see the forces, the way that the forces move. When you're in that position, you get so much more stability than if you're just trying to hold the rifle. And from there, that's fine. You can go up, 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 you can go up. And you can get to quite a good degree of height, probably 10 or 20, 30 feet at 35 yards, without having to take that elbow out of the ribs. You can get a constant hold on the rifle. Now, this isn't the way that everybody shoots. It's the way I shoot, and it's the way that it works for me. But you do get some shooters who do a thing called snap shooting, and they use what's known as a shotgun stance, which is like that. The rifle, I'll just put, rifle isn't loaded. Hang on, safety. So, snap shooting is when they're holding like that. And this can actually be very good. They're gripping the rifle, they're pulling it back into the shoulder, and they come up, they lock on, and they fire. It's how shotgunners do it. And it's worth practicing, because there will be times when you've got a target that's high up in a tree So pull up, lock on, get your alignment right, pull up, bang, and away you go. Snap shooting is one of these things that it's very, very good, but you need to practice it, because you need to have the confidence that when you're on the target, you're just going to pull the trigger. If you get to the point where your brain is going, pull the trigger, pull the trigger, pull the trigger, I guarantee you, you're going to be wobbling about and you're going to miss everything you aim at. So this, for me, works well, but this is something that it's certainly worth practicing and have something in your armory to use. So we've gone through our foot position, we've gone through alignment, we've gone through body position. And now we want to talk about breathing. And breathing is actually way more important with unsupported standing shots than in any other type of shot, because we actually use breathing and gravity to get accuracy. Now, unless you are built like Arnold Schwarzenegger, or unless you are a 10-meter shooter, or if you're an FT shooter and you're wearing the big heavy leather coat, or you've got a sling wrapped around your rifle, if you're allowed to use it, which you're not allowed to use in HFT, and you can wrap your arm around it and you can lock yourself in. If you do all those things, you can hold the rifle on the target and hold the crosshairs in the kill zone. Us mere mortals, we can't do that. We struggle. So, when you've got a target out at 35 yards and you're in position and you're trying to hold it and you can see yourself and you're moving about all over the place, and I'll tell you what, we'll hold here and you can see how much the crosshair is moving around. But what we want to do is have a paper target with a channel above it. And what we're going to do with this channel is we're going to lock on, we're going to align with that, and then we're going to start breathing in and out. And we're going to let the rifle move with gravity, just going up and down. There we go. And you will see that when you're breathing in and out, the rifle or the crosshair is moving, but it's not going really left and right. It's just going up and down, up and down. You've completely removed one area of where you can miss. And what a lot of shooters do is they get into that position and they start breathing in, and then they just let the rifle naturally drop, and they fire as their aim point is just going through the top of the kill, because obviously the rifle is still moving. This is obviously something that you really need to practice, but you can get a level of accuracy that it's very rare when you see the top shooters shooting a freestander to see them miss. And this is the technique that they use. They go up and down, and as they drop through the target, they pull the trigger. But again, it's something that you really do need to practice. The other thing is you've got to train your trigger finger. You've got to train your trigger finger to pull that trigger when it's in the kill zone. Now, if you set out a target at 35 yards and you're wobbling about, you're always going to struggle. So we've got a target here, it's around about 15 yards. So I can get onto a position like that, and I know at 15 yards with a 35mm kill, it's very rare for me to miss. And that is what I will practice at. And then once I can kill that 99% of the time, I'll move back 3 yards, 4 yards, and practice again, and practice again, and practice again. Don't start off your training at 35 yards. Start off your training at 10 or 15 or 20. And only when you can kill it all the time, move back. And that's what's, you know, you're basically training your brain to go, I'm in the kill, bang, killed target. Well, that's just a quick video on how to shoot unsupported targets. All of the information is there, and the more you practice, the better you will get. If you've got any ways that you can shoot an unsupported target better than that, please put it in the comments below or email me at lifeattherange@gmail.com, because I really want to hear, because I need to practice and I need to get better with my unsupported standards. The information I've got today has been gleaned from the best unsupported shooters we've got in the country. So I know it's correct. And I, along with you guys, I need to start practicing it. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Look out for more content with this amazing Daystate Black Wolf that we've got coming very, very soon. What we're going to be doing is we're having a full strip down later on. We're doing a winter HFT piece in a couple of weeks. And then on Boxing Day this year, we're going to be using this for the 100-yard challenge. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Have a wonderful Christmas season, and we'll see you on the range again very, very soon. Ta-da!